Well, it's been a long time, guys. I don't even know if this will be posted because I am as unreliable as any businessman. And I'm not a businessman, so that probably make me reliable. Anyway, I wouldn't be here unless I was extremely motivated by some topic, and that topic is a movie that had recently come out. I am a huge movie buff, in case you didn't know that about me. That's my biggest dream, not only to have my own comic book series, but it's to write, direct, and also act in movies, whether it be the chubby, funny guy that maybe somebody loves, like a Chandler, or maybe I could lose a little more weight, get more muscles, and then be that hot hunk who plays Thor, because we all know Thor is going to die in Infinity War. But the movie I want to talk about today is Ready Player One. Oh my god, is this movie fan-fucking-tastic. I felt compelled to come and talk to you guys about the movie the same way I felt compelled about Guardians, which is a video that I made a long time ago because I fucking love Guardians. Guardians is still near and dear to my heart, so is Guardians 2. I think those movies are equal. Yeah, I can't say one that I like more because they both have different aspects that I found very well. But we're not here to talk about Guardians. God damn it, gotta get back on fucking track. Let's just dive right into it. We'll see when the next video comes up. Maybe a month from now. So, Ready Player One is directed by Steven Spielberg, and it's based off of a book. And the whole concept of this movie is that the whole world is pretty much living inside of this virtual reality system called the Oasis. If you don't know what virtual reality is, get yourself under that fucking rock and learn a thing or two. But virtual reality is pretty much essentially you switching your reality into the virtual side, usually video games. And in the book, it's kind of a... People are usually in there for a more depressing reason because the world's gone to shit at this point. It's like 2045. There's like gas wars and corn syrup drought. So the world is shit, and the only place where it's not shit is the Oasis, which is where you can be whatever you want, do whatever you want, and it's kind of just like your own free reign. And the Oasis was created by two people, James Halliday and I can't remember Sean Pegg's character, but Sean Pegg. Is it Simon Pegg? Oh God, I love that actor. He's in Shaun of the Dead. Oh, Shaun of the Dead. So it's Simon Pegg. Yeah, I'm dumb. But it's created by these two, and pretty much when the main creator James Halliday dies, which is the beginning of the movie, like first 5 minutes, he leaves behind like this whole big old quest, like this Easter egg, to where the first person to find 3 keys, which are behind like riddles and mazes and all this, they win the key to the Oasis, and then they own the company, and they're like the sole shareholder and all that. So not only making a shit ton of money, but you get to control the Oasis. You can put in whatever you want, make whatever you want. It's literally your own living, breathing, not real, but world, And that's the basis of this whole story. I think, enough talking about the basics. I'm just going to get into it. This movie's absolutely fan-fucking-tastic. I mean, there's video games and movies and books that try to recreate the 80s, but this movie legitimately felt it. Even though I didn't grow up within that time period, nor the 90s, I've seen a lot of movies and TV shows from back in the day because that's what I grew up on, to understand at least what the aesthetic and the way editing and acting was like back in those days, and this movie encapsulates that. I think the biggest reason why it encapsulates that is because Steven Spielberg is at the helm of this movie, and Steven Spielberg created tropes in that time period that are still used to this day. I look back on it as like, that's very 80s. I mean, look at Back to the Future, look at E.T., look at Jurassic Park. I mean, Spielberg defined that era, and putting him at the helm of this movie, which is like chock full of like 80s references, 90s references, just a geek's paradise, essentially. And I think why Steven Spielberg really works is because he puts these tropes in the movies. He doesn't care, and I think it's amazing because he's even working with some of his own properties in the movie. Like, there's just Jurassic Park scenes. The DeLorean makes this a badass appearance. But he has a certain way of directing, and unless you know movies, or even a general moviegoer can see, like, he kind of has certain angles, certain camera shots, the way he pulls back and uses music and has sound effects. I mean, he uses sound effects straight from Back to the Future. Nut. Like, that's my shit. And then there's blends of music. Like, you'll have, like, the King Kong theme mixed with the Jurassic Park theme, and it's melded into this pretty beautiful thing. I wouldn't go out of my way to go hear it, like a John Williams type of thing, but it's not bad. It goes great with the movie. But the movie opens up, spoiler territory, so there's going to be minor spoilers throughout this original, and if I have anything big to say, it'll be at the end of the video. But it opens up with this badass race scene, and I'm a fucking sucker for race scenes. Mad Max is one of my favorite franchises. Fast and the Furious, while shitty movies in my... Sorry about that, you guys. While shitty movies in my opinion, at least after the 4th one, I like the 3rd one a lot, because It's the shittiest, but man, is it ridiculously awesome. And that's what this race scene does. It's just one badass race scene. I mean, the sound effects and just the way that the cars explode and just the way it's all set up. And like, there's like 100 Easter eggs within that race scene that you can catch. And the DeLorean, oh, nut. And then there's this, I think the second task is actually quite incredible because they go inside of a movie. I'm not going to say what the movie is just in case you want to go see this movie. But they go inside of this movie, and I don't know how they did it, but it was almost like a Kingdom Hearts thing where you take these characters that just don't belong in this movie, never been in this movie, and you throw them in there and just, God, I want to see a frame by frame on how to and how they accomplished such an amazing looking scene. I'm a huge disco kind of guy, and there's a really, really cute and awesome disco dance scene where he goes out on like kind of like a virtual date with like the girl that he's like co-working with to like figure out the Easter eggs, and they go to the club and he's like, maybe it's a dance off. She's like, maybe it's a dance off to win, and then he starts dancing and then he plays the Bee Gees Staying Alive. That's what I would do. So if you're looking for a disco guy, I'm right here. But he does that, and I just think it was just incredibly cute. It's just, there's something about this movie that's incredible. It just gets me all giddy inside, and I think it would do the same to you if you even remotely like anything geeky. If you even remotely like 80s movies, I think there's more than enough reasons to go out and see this. I mean, I've seen it a total of 4 times. 2 of those were dates, different girls, and 2 of those were with my best friends. I mean, I can go and see this movie 100 times. Same thing I did with Guardians and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I mean, I don't know why you haven't spent your money yet. So the rest of here is going to be like a hodgepodge of spoiler territory. So if you haven't seen the movie, go out and watch it and stop watching this. And if you have seen the movie, it's just going to be a cool discussion that we can have in the comments or between ourselves. God, that death race scene is badass. And just the way he figured out that he had to go backwards instead of forwards was actually really, really cool. The Shining scene. Oh my God, I love The Shining. How? How did they make them look as if they were in the movie? I mean, it is legitimately hilarious. That scene is just fucking... It's so good because people who haven't seen the movie, there's a character H who hasn't seen the movie. Like people can relate to him, and it's just so cool. And then like I know in the book that James Halliday and God, I can't remember Simon Pegg's character's name, but I guess they have a close relationship, and they don't touch on it too much in the movie. But I feel like you got more than enough. I mean, in my opinion. Staying Alive scene. Oh my God, I love the Staying Alive scene. And all the little Easter eggs. God, like there was Ryu from Street Fighter. They get a Rubik's Cube that turns back time. It's called the Zemeckis Cube. If you don't know if you don't know what that's referencing, that's Robert Zemeckis, the guy who's like directed like Back to the Future. Well, Steven Spielberg helped with Back to the Future. He actually didn't direct it. That was Robert Zemeckis. He did Roger Rabbit and did a couple other movies that are really good. And God, that ending scene. Can we talk about that ending war scene for a second? They had so many characters. They were playing so many badass music. You have the DeLorean zipping through. You have the Iron Giant. And the moment where I came twice that night. The second time, can't talk about that. The first time I came was whenever during the fight, the Japanese guy gets up after he's done summoning his chakra and goes, Nundagriya Gundam. He's like, I choose this form of Gundam. He said it in Japanese, and I was like, nut. It was, And Mechagodzilla. I never thought in my lifetime I would see Mechagodzilla, a Gundam, and the Iron Giant fighting together. Oh man, talking about the movie just makes me want to go see it, you know? There was just so many badass things, these fights, the races, just everything you'd want. It's like the 80s had sex with Spielberg and they had a kid, and this was that movie. And if that doesn't turn you on, then I don't think you deserve to see this movie. Anyway, I think you guys should go see it. I would give it a 10 out of 10. I think it's even made my top 10 list of favorite movies, which I don't even know what my top 10 list is, but I know I'd put it up there. But anyway, guys, you guys should go check it out. Don't expect much from this channel. I just post whenever I feel like it, but who knows, you know, with this badass iPhone and a laptop that I won, I just might make different videos. This is Dante9345 signing out for however long I sign out for.